What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. We got to talk about the NBA draft lottery because, my God, it seems so rigged, bro. It seems so rigged. And I'm going to be honest, love this for Mavs fans. Obviously, the Mavs win the draft lottery if you haven't heard yet. Obviously, this is probably Cooper Flagg centric to the Mavs. Or there is the wild card that maybe they do consider trading that, since there is a certain Greek fellow that might be on the market. I don't know. Either way, you either get Cooper Flagg or you trade for a guy like Giannis. That's a win-win for me, honestly. Now, the odds on this are insane. There's a lot of winners and losers, and we're going to talk about both. Because I think the Spurs, huge winners in this, because now they're either going probably Dylan Harper or Giannis. It really feels like whoever of these top two teams wants to make the trade could probably do it. And I feel like the Spurs, no matter what, are going to be good, right? They got Wemby, they have Fox, they could take Dylan Harper, have Stephon Castle, just have this young burgeoning team, or they could trade the pick. Spurs, big winners in this. I love this for the Spurs. I personally, for the Spurs, would like to see them trade for Giannis. I think Giannis and Wemby would be probably the best rim protecting duo we've ever seen. And I think that'd be a lot of fun. Wemby complements Giannis in like a perfect way. That's a different video for a different time because I do want to talk about that individually if it ever happens. But the Mavs. Mavs are huge winners in this. You know who the biggest loser is? It's not the Hornets. It's not the Wizards. It's not the Jazz. It's the Bulls. And you're going to say, why the Bulls? Why the Bulls? The Bulls lost a coin toss at the end of the season with the Mavs for the pick order, for their odds. So if they won that toss, that would have been the Bulls' ping pong ball. Or I don't even know if they do ping pong balls anymore, but that would have been that, and they would have been picking first. They're the biggest losers in this whole thing for me, just because of that. And I just feel like that franchise has just been so snake bitten for the last decade. But yeah, so I think the Bulls are the biggest losers. I think a team like the Hornets, I'm going to be honest, I like certain young players on the Hornets, but they don't, I don't know how much they deserve to be picking in the top couple, right? They've rebuilt the rebuild like 3 times and have not gotten it right. Until management can figure that out, I don't know about just how bad I feel for the franchise, because they've just been doing this over and over and over again anyway. Let's talk about the order, because the order is crazy. Obviously, we have the Mavs, right? They get first. The Spurs get second. The Sixers jump all the way up. Or I don't even know if they jumped all the way up, but they got the 3rd pick. That's a team with who knows what Joel Embiid is going to be like next season. Paul George should be back and healthy. Tyrese Maxey. That's a team that could do a lot with that 3rd pick, and I like that. Charlotte gets 4. Cool. Whatever. I don't think they deserve top pick. Utah kind of got cranked out of this whole thing, but they actively tanked all year long. And for me personally, I like when teams that actively tanked all season long don't get rewarded. Because this is the game you play. They could have been somewhat decent, like the Mavs were. And Mavs were in the play-in and ended up with the 1st pick in the draft. So you have the Jazz, obviously. The Wizards at 6, that kind of sucks for them, but they were kind of in a similar situation where they were, I don't know if they were so much tanking, but they were playing a lot of young guys, so I kind of give them a little bit of benefit. The Pelicans, they really could have used some good luck here, because they're probably, of the teams in the top 7, the one that's dealt with the most over the past 4 or 5 years. So Brooklyn, I've seen a lot of stuff with Brooklyn's got a treasure chest and Brooklyn's gonna trade for a star, and I'm like, to me, maybe I'm just not right with this, because why would any star want to go there? There's no notable young talent. You have Cam Thomas, and there's Nick Claxton, and that's it. There's not another thing there. Maybe it's cap space, and they try to bring somebody at the same time. I don't know. I don't understand where all this stuff with the Nets being the team that's hunting on the market. I don't get it. Don't understand it. But yeah, Toronto picks 9, Houston picks 10, which that's good for Houston to be picking 10. You're gonna add another top 10 pick to your team. That's a cool dub. The Blazers pick 11, Chicago picks 12, Atlanta picks 13, and San Antonio gets another lottery pick at 14. So ultimately, a lot of this is going to be very interesting to see. I think particularly in those top 2 or 3 teams, like the Sixers, Spurs, and Mavs, there's going to be a lot of activity on the trade market because those picks are going to be kind of not expendable, but like they're so valued, and like a team like Dallas and San Antonio doesn't really need another young guy. They could trade for an already built star. That's what you could do in this situation, and you have the core piece to that. So I don't know. I think a guy like Kevin Durant is super, super fascinating to follow in this saga. I don't think Dallas would trade the number 1 pick for Kevin Durant, but I also didn't think they would trade Luka Doncic. And to me, I'm going back to this with this feeling like it could be rigged, because the Luka Doncic trade was the most shocking trade in NBA history. Out of nowhere. Nobody knew about it. And then they get rewarded with the first pick. And they had like the 3rd worst odds. Like I think they had a 1.8% chance of getting the first pick. I'm just saying that is the most fishy few events I think I've ever seen in the NBA. The Lakers get a superstar in Luka. Obviously the Lakers are the NBA's like poster child for exposure. And then the Mavs get Cooper Flagg in return. I don't know. This just seems so sus. And I'm gonna be honest, I love it because it's so fun to talk about. But yeah, there's of all times for me to think like that the NBA might be rigged, this was probably the only one where I've like, yeah, that's a little hard to believe, if you feel what I'm saying. I'm still gonna watch. I'm gonna still be tuned into every single move that goes on. I'm still gonna enjoy the game. I love the game. This one is just a little too ironic, in my opinion. So I don't know. What are you thinking about this draft lottery? This is crazy. I really would love to see the Mavs take Cooper Flagg. I would love to see that. I would love to see the Spurs trade the number 2 pick, which would probably be Dylan Harper, and go get Giannis if the Bucks are willing to play ball. I would love to see the Sixers kind of experiment, because they're at a point where it's like they're trying to win now, but you could also kind of sustain your future if you make a move that isn't so aggressive in terms of trading or trying to do anything like that. So those 3 teams have a lot that they could do. There's obviously teams that are going to try to trade up and try to filter this whole thing out and try to get higher in the draft. The Spurs getting 2 lottery picks to a team that, if Wemby was healthy, I think was going to make the play-in. And now they got a top 2 pick. The Mavs get this crazy, crazy turn of events. This is so dope for the NBA. It's super, super suspicious, but I think it's dope. Let me know what you're thinking of the lottery. Who you think the winners, who you think the losers are. Like I said, the Bulls are the biggest loser in this, unfortunately, because they lost a coin toss to be where the Mavs were in the odds or whatever. And now the Mavs are picking first. Most people don't know that, but now you do. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you like this kind of content. Please like the video. I appreciate you for watching. The draft lottery is crazy. This shit feels rigged though. I'm not gonna lie. But that's all I got. I'm done. Peace.